These people do not faze me, enjoying every moment. Ain't worried about who's in it. I'm growing every day, everything's gonna be okay as long as I got my.
Good morning, you guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, you guys. So, call me messy, call me whatever you want to call me, but they be in my business. Hey, young Avi, I love you, baby. Okay, you guys. So, everybody watched the episode. Y'all saw everything that was being talked about. The mama of the girl, baby who got kidnapped, she reached out to me. We could fight, baby. She reached out to me. And it's crazy because I met her before. So, I'm going to interview her, you guys. You feel me? I'm going to go ahead and interview you guys. One day you messy, one day you positive. We love balance in life, period. I am a blogger, okay? I am a blogger. That's all I do is blog. Alrighty. So I'm just waiting for her to come in here. Let me go ahead and send her the live. There she is. You clock this. Make sure you clock this. Good morning.
Good morning, baby.
Good morning. Okay, so you guys, this is Sita. Everybody was hearing about how the baby, somebody's baby had got kidnapped. You guys, here she is. Just so that y'all don't all be like, Liddy, you're messy and all of that shit real quick, let me go ahead and clear something up for y'all real quick. I met her before last year. And just to speak on her character real quick, she's really nice. When I met her last year, I was actually on my way from Vegas and my phone had died. And I couldn't get a hold of anybody. And she was there. And when she was there, she came up to me. She was like, oh, you need a ride? And I'm like, yeah, like, you feel me? My phone, I ended up charging my phone. So the guy I was dating at that time, he was coming, but she stepped up, and I respect her for that. She's the type of girl that'll give, you feel me, she'll give you the clothes off her back, you feel me? Okay, so they have questions. So let's go first. So
Well,
who kidnapped your baby?
before we start, let me answer this comment.
Okay.
Everybody could say, y'all could say I'm lying, y'all could say whatever y'all want, but that girl is going to go to jail. Y'all, maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to say she's going to go to jail, but it's definitely, she went to jail for kidnap, hit and run, and Grand Theft Auto, and y'all could search her name up. Like, I don't got no reason to lie. She went to jail for it in July, and she bailed out, and she's out on bail.
Another thing, when it comes to children, you guys, it's a whole different process that I don't give a fuck about. So yeah. Um this is just a lot, you guys. Y'all,
It
I heard
is.
the backstory already, and it's just really a lot for me.
My name's
But
Sita.
so her name is Sita.
Oh, y'all want to know
Um,
my name? I'm gonna just post it. I'm gonna post the screenshot of when she went to jail. Like, I'm gonna post the screenshot of the inmate locator.
okay, they're telling me to turn the comments off. Hold on,
Okay,
let me do that.
so my daughter right now today she's 3 years old, but when this happened, she was one about to turn two.
Okay, she was wondering about. So how did she get access to take your baby? I'm a mother, so
Okay.
like, how did she get access to take your baby?
So this been my friend since I was 14 or 15, but I'm pretty sure I was 14. We was real close, always been real close. Anytime I needed something, she would help me out, or if she needed something, I would help her out. She done lived at my house plenty of times. But between when I was 18, I moved to North Hollywood, and we like stopped talking for a couple years. So at this time, when this happened, that was her first time meeting my baby. Like, I hadn't seen her in like a year or two. So that's how I know her. Like, I've been knew her for years. This was one of my closest friends. Like, I don't have very many friends, and this was my close friend.
So y'all grew up together?
Yeah, we grew up together.
Okay. All right. So everybody wants to know the backstory. So, how did she get the baby? And like, how did she kidnap the baby?
Okay. So she pretty much called me, asked me for a ride. I was already on my way to do something. I told her I'm already on my way to do something, but I'll still come get you. I picked her up, and she got in the car. She was already faded. Like, it already seemed like she was off of something. She said she had popped some pills, and she had a big ass gallon of Hennessy, and she was just drinking it in my passenger seat the whole ride. Halfway there, she fell asleep. I picked up who I needed to pick up. Mind you, I drove far. I drove from Victorville to Long Beach and then back to Victorville. So she didn't wake up until we was almost like maybe 20 minutes from my mom's house. So when she did wake up, she was like, she woke up because I called my neighbor and asked my neighbor, could he clean out the room for her? Mind you, she had been staying at my house for 2 weeks. Her mom had kicked her out. She was staying at my house for 2 weeks already, and the whole time she was sleeping in my bed with me and my baby, which it was cool. It wasn't a problem. But eventually people need space. So I had called my neighbor, asked my neighbor, can you come clean up the house, clean up this room for her, put the bed up. She was going to have a bed, a queen size bed, TV, everything. Like, I wasn't going to put her in no bullshit.
Okay, so not to cut you off, so just so that we all on the same page, you guys were friends, you guys were roommating together, and there was a situation regarding the room, but you were getting the room situated for her.
Yeah, like,
okay, so
I was already finna make it happen before we even arrived to the house, and she heard me on the phone, and she woke up out her sleep, and she was like, "What are you talking about? Like, what do you mean?" And I'm like, "Oh, I just called my neighbor to see if he could clean the room for you. He said, yeah, he gonna clean it up." And she she just like flipped her lid. She was like, "What the fuck? You should have been told me this," which I did tell her when I first picked her up. I don't know why she was trying to play like she didn't know. And from there, she called somebody on the phone, and she asked them, she was like, "Can I come spend the night at your house? I don't got nowhere to go." And he was
but
like,
she
"Yeah,
did
it's cool."
have somewhere to go,
Yeah,
though. She did have somewhere to go.
She did.
Were you kicking her? Were you
No,
kicking your friend out? Were you
I
kicking
wasn't
her
kicking
out?
her out. I was putting her in her own room inside my mom's house. My mom had a
Okay.
5-bedroom house.
So you weren't kicking. So
Yeah.
you weren't kicking her out. You wasn't
No.
kicking your friend out.
I wasn't.
Okay.
At this point, I'm not kicking her out.
Okay.
So then, after that, once she called the guy and she asked the guy for, can she come over there and spend the night? When she hung up the phone, she didn't ask me to take her nowhere. So in my mind, I already know that she could be grimy, and I already heard so many stories. So I'm like, I had already heard so many stories or whatever. I'm like, okay, this is finna go left. I already knew what it was. So she's yelling and stuff, and she was irate. She was talking about my baby, saying that I didn't take my baby to the dentist the day before, saying that I just be chasing after dick. And I'm like, look at my baby teeth. My baby had just got work done on her teeth, and her teeth was silver. So I'm like, all you got to do is turn around and look at her. Like, look at her. And she was like, "Bitch, I don't care. Fuck you and fuck this baby." And like, she started going off. So at this point, I don't want to deal with it because I have a 1-year-old in my back seat, and that's crazy. So I told her, well, if you're going to be disrespectful, you could get out the car. And when I told her she could get out the car, she just started kicking me from the passenger seat. Like, she was kicking me all in my head. Mind you, the car's driving. I'm doing 60 down the street. So I throw the car in park, and we're fighting. Like, we were really locking up for maybe like a good 5-6 minutes. We stopped traffic and everything. And
all of this is going on while the baby is
yeah,
right
the
there?
baby is in the backseat. She's sleeping through it, though. She was sleeping through us fighting. So this whole time, the baby is in the backseat. So in the midst of us fighting, I'm leaning back against the door, against my door, to like basically give me some leverage because we fighting in the little ass car. So while we fighting, she pulled my wig off. Like she pulled it off like she was intentionally taking it off. Like she lifted, she stuck her finger under it and lifted it up off my head. So I'm already like, oh, she's being grimy. And then she was trying to snatch my Cuban link off my wrist. Like this is all while we're fighting. But the whole time I'm focused on fighting. Then she reached over and she opened my door. And when she opened my door, I'm leaning against it. So I fell out the car. But now I'm holding on to the seatbelt to try to stay, like, I don't even know what I was trying to do. I was just trying to make sure she didn't take my car with my baby in the backseat. Mind you, at this point, I'm just screaming, my baby, my baby. I was crying. I really felt like I was in a movie. Like, sometimes I can't even believe that this really happened to me. But I was just screaming like my baby. I said, please, Niy, just give me my baby out the car. And she slammed the door. I'm hanging out the car. I'm on the ground. She slammed the door on my arm so that my arm dropped out of the car. And she like took off. But I'm holding on to the seatbelt. The seatbelt is outside of the car. And she was dragging me. And I held on for as long as I could. But I started getting some wind burns and stuff. So I let go. So now my immediate thing was call 911. Mind you, I had called my mom as soon as the confrontation had started, but I never got to talk to her. So she just hear everything that's going on.
So she just drove off and dragged you in the car with your baby?
She was dragging me. I'm outside the car and she was dragging me. I was hanging on to the seatbelt and she had the baby in the car. And I kept saying, just give me the baby. I told her, like, you could keep the car. And to give y'all some insight, this whole 2 weeks leading up, she had been using my car to go boosting. Like, I didn't tell her she had to go with me, none of that. Like, it was cool. She knew it was good. I did not care about the car. I only cared about my kid. So then my immediate thing was call 911. So I called 911. I said, hey, my daughter just got kidnapped. I gave them the license plate. I told them she stole my car. My daughter's in the back seat. I gave them the license plate. The police was like on the phone asking me dumb stuff. I'm telling them, like, please just like start looking for the baby. And they kept saying, well, ma'am, how do you know that the baby was kidnapped? And how do you know this lady? And da 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 da. And they was just asking me too much stuff, but they wasn't ready to send nobody. So I ended up hanging up the phone and I flagged down the car. And I was like, my daughter just got kidnapped. Can you please follow them? And the man drove me to my mom's house. Because at this point, she was far gone. But I something kept telling me, like, she don't want the baby. She just want the car. So I had the man drive me to my mom's house. My mom lived on the cul-de-sac street. So when we pulled up, I told the white man who gave me a ride, can he block the beginning of the street off so that she couldn't leave? Because when I pulled up, she's at the end of the block making the U-turn, and my baby is standing on the curb. So the man, he was like, yeah, I got you. I'm away right here. As soon as I got out the car, the man drove off. So it was nobody blocking the street for her she could still leave. So I'm running down the street and my mom is outside. Like, now she didn't pull it up. So my mom pulled up and my mom is like, what did you do? Like, what did you do? And Niy had set the baby on the curb. She set the baby on the curb. And she made her U-turn, and that's when I ran up. And when she seen me right there, she stopped. She stopped the car. And I was like, Niy, like, why would you do that? And she was like, I swear to God, my intentions was not on stealing your car or taking your baby. I swear to God, I was about to come back and get you. Like, it just clicked. I was about to come get you, I swear. And I said, okay, well, if that's the case, get out the car. And as soon as I said get out the car, I love that. I love that. That's how you're supposed to do it. And as soon as I had said get out the car, that bitch just smashed on the gas. Like, she was flying. But when she smashed on the gas, my mom dove in the back window and she landed in the car. And like, literally, as soon as they made it to the end of the block, Niy crashed into my neighbor truck that was parked on the street.
So that's the picture that you sent me with that car all totaled like that? Y'all, I'm gonna post the picture in my story for y'all to see, you feel me? Yeah, that's a hell of a story. So wow, like I don't even know where to ask a question at. That's just
hi. I just came up to say hi.
Hey.
Good morning, Liddy. I miss you.
What you was doing, baby. Okay. I love you. I love you.
Period. Good morning, Liddy. I miss you. I didn't want to interrupt the interview. You know, I just had to, run it.
Okay.
Yeah, but Barbie's so messy. Yeah, that's a whole lot. That's a whole lot. As a mother, I don't know how I would feel, you feel me, if somebody's driving off with my baby and then you say she put the baby on the
Yeah,
curb
she put
and then
the
crashed the
baby on
car.
the curb. Mind you, my mom do drugs. So when my mom pulled up, she had some white lady, some high ass white lady with her. So the white lady actually got out the car. Like while I'm trying to figure out everything that's going on, the white lady got out my mom's truck and she picked my baby up and she had the baby and she took her in the house and stuff. So I'm grateful for her. I don't even know the lady to this day. I ain't never met her or nothing. But I'm so grateful that she did pick my baby up. And then it just goes, for
Wait,
me,
so
it's
she
like,
left the baby right there with nobody? Like
with
nobody was
nobody.
there with the baby?
With nobody. She just set the baby on the curb and was getting ready to leave again. And I feel like I could feel like she was thinking, oh, I don't have nowhere to go. Like maybe she thought she needed my car to sleep in, or I don't know what the bitch was thinking of.
Was y'all getting
I
high?
didn't get high. I didn't do no drugs.
So
Back then,
who
I
did
wouldn't
drugs?
cop no pills, nothing like that. No, I wasn't even with her. I had another phone, but I might be able to pull up some text messages. She texted me and said, hey, I'm at a room with my trick. Can you come get me? I need a ride. And I was like, okay, but I'm finna go pick up this nigga. I had been talking to a new nigga and I didn't really know him like that, but we had been talking for weeks. And she had been there the whole time. Knew I was talking to him, everything. I told her, I'm about to go pick him up. Like, mind you, the nigga had a car. The nigga had a car, and I told him to leave it because my neighbors was like janky, you know? So I was like, don't even bring your car up here. I'll come get you. And that shit had made me really regret it because it was like, I don't even have no car no more. Like, the whole situation was just crazy overall. I
Wow.
felt like I was in a movie. When the car crashed, I was standing in the middle of the street and I was screaming. Like I was screaming, I was crying. It was so much going on. I never even thought about nothing else. But when she got off the car, you know how you could have that little part that you push in your car at the top and it come down and open up? I used to put my money in there. She was taking my money. She snatched all my chains off. She took my wig. I never got none of that shit back, nothing. So I feel like she was doing it spitefully, and I feel like she did everything on purpose because your main goal was not on trying to find somewhere to go, or you wasn't trying to do it because I was trying to kick you out. No, you were jealous and you was trying to rob me, pretty much. You really wanted what I had. To me, that's what it felt like. And then even after the fact, once the police left, because the police ended up coming to my mom's house and everything, and the police wasn't taking me serious. They was laughing at me. They kept saying, yo, baby was only missing for 5 minutes. I don't give a fuck how long it is. Anything could have happened to her, especially me knowing that she was on drugs. I really do believe that bitch was
Wait,
out
who
there.
was on drugs?
Monaya, she told me when she got in the car, when I picked her up from the room, she said, I'm off a perk in a bar. I don't know how true that is, but she was like, I'm off a perk in a bar. And what I don't understand is perks and bars don't do you like that. Not the way that she was fucking acting, but she also had a gallon of Hennessy and she was drinking it the whole ride out there to Long Beach.
Oh wow.
And get this, when she got in the car with me at first, she was just talking. She was like, I got a double dildo if you want to be on that. Mind you, I'm gay, but I would never in my life do nothing with her. Like, this bitch been my friend for years, and she had never approached me like that, never came at me like that, no nothing. So once she said that, I was like, yeah, this bitch is really gone. And that's what also made me think, I feel like she wanted to lay in the bed with me and a nigga, and she wanted to get fucked. That's really how I feel. Like, that's really what it was given. It was given she was jealous and she wanted to sleep in my bed still. Because it was like, I never said you got to leave my house. All I said was, I'm going to put you in your own room. Why would you even want to lay
And you
in
were
here?
putting her in her own room because you had company over
Because I
that
had
night.
company over. Exactly.
I mean, that makes sense. Like, if me and my friend are roommated, and a lot of people always be trying to like talk bad on people, but I'm gonna say this: it's nothing wrong with roommating with your friend. It's nothing wrong with that. Like, you feel me? Like, especially at your young age, there's nothing wrong with that. But privacy and space is important. It's definitely important. Um, y'all, this live wasn't to talk bad on nobody. This was just to tell the truth. You feel me? And let her side be known, because her situation with her child was brought up on TV. So we talk about everybody else. Everybody's in everybody else's business. So why not?
For me, I wanted
I'm gonna go
to.
ahead and turn the comments
All
on real quick
right.
to see if the supporters have any questions
For
for
me,
you, and
I
then we're
wanted
gonna wrap
to
this up.
talk about this because everybody been saying I've been
And
lying.
y'all heard that she wanted to talk about this. So before y'all call me messy, she
Yeah,
wanted
I
to
did
talk
want to
about
talk
this.
about this because everybody been saying I was lying from jump. They kept saying, "Oh, she's lying. She didn't take that girl baby, and they gonna be right back friends." And then some people saying it's some police shit. It's really not. If I wouldn't have never called the police to tell them, "Hey, put out an Amber Alert," the police would have never been involved. Not only
I'm gonna
that,
say this too. When it comes to some police out shit, anything that has to deal with children and people know the streets, anything that has to deal with children, that shit is off limits. Because if somebody does something to my daughter and I can't kill you, you goddamn right, I want somebody else to come get you. You feel me? With their situation, I'm not gonna have too much of an opinion, but I am a mom, and I am gonna say, you feel me? Like my heart would have been broke if somebody was driving off with my daughter. Like I don't know how I would stomach that. Like, so
Um, and then they asking about the dude. So the dude was there. Come to find out, y'all, this is what's really crazy. I don't know if this shit was set up. I still to this day don't know. The nigga was in the back seat the whole time. Once Monaya opened the door and I fell out the car, he got out the car with me. Then we rode in the car together with the white man to my mom's house. But after the fact, come to find out, like the nigga recorded my mom's house and posted it all on the internet. And come to find out, they knew each other. I guess the nigga baby mama is friends with Monaya, or I don't even know. I still to this day don't know. But for me to have been with her for 2 weeks and I was on the phone with this nigga every day, she never once told me she knew him. So I don't be knowing if the boy tried to set me up with her. I still to this day really don't know. And also, my mom fought her. My mom fought her and I fought her. We were fighting for a long time. Like, it wasn't like she just...
These people do not faze me, enjoying every